Welcome to Leaders and Learners. My name is Tanya McKenzie, and you can find me at the intersection of public relations and leadership. Join us as we talk to organizational leaders, elected officials, experts, authors, artists, and personalities, sharing their stories, talking about how they got to where they are and how they continue to learn and lead the way. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Leaders and Learners, where we know that the best leaders are lifetime learners. And today, I love when we have artists because their stories are completely different than most of the stories that you hear from elected officials and those that are in positions of leadership. They lead in a different way. They are storytellers. They are people that are reflecting on their own experiences to be able to bring to you a level of enjoyment, poetry, storytelling that others can't. And today we get to talk to an amazing young artist. She looked 12, but she ain't. But we're definitely going to get into her story, behind the story, and hear a little bit of her music. She has some new stuff for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring you Miss Chrissy Gubachi.
Yes.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? We're coordinated today.
I love that. I think maybe we were both thinking maybe breast cancer awareness or something empowering women, but we were definitely vibing,
Yeah.
definitely vibing. So tell people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you became an artist. Where did that come from?
Yes. So my name is Chrissy Gubachi. I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. I'm an R&B soul singer and songwriter and musician. I play four instruments: the piano, the clarinet, the Chinese recorder, and I guess you can say a little of the guitar. I dibble and dabble. Um, Artistry is in my blood. My great grandmother was a opera gospel singer, and she played in churches and she was in a group. So naturally, I just picked up the capabilities from her. And my mother, she can hold a tune. Everybody in my family is musically inclined, but I just really took it and ran with it, and now I'm here and pursuing it as a full-time profession and loving it.
I love that. So talk to me about your upbringing with these women that are obviously very talented. My
Yeah.
mom could sing also, but she wasn't a singer. She was actually an artist. But I remember, Sunday mornings, the music is on, we're cleaning, she's singing, she's cooking, she's singing.
Yes.
Where in your childhood, because I know it had to start early, did you start feeling the music in a way that wasn't just a pastime? Like where was that click at where you're like, oh my God, like this is, I want this.
Yeah. So I would say when I was 3 years old, my grandmother actually, she listened to a lot of Dorothy Dandridge and Mary
Mm.
Mary. So she would have me imitate them. She would stand me up on the table or put me in the middle of the floor and give me a brush and imitate the singers. And I always performed. I always went to performing arts schools. And my teachers, they always saw something great in me, and they always put me in the forefront and pushed me to be a leader and sing lead, and do things. So really my love for the artistry started when I was about 3 years old. And that's when I also learned how to play the piano as well. But I didn't realize that I could sing or hold a tune better than my peers until I got to about the seventh grade.
Tell me about that. What was it, a show? Y'all was competing? What happened?
Yes, so in Washington D.C. we have our own music, which is called go-go.
Mm.
And if you were in a go-go band, you were one of the popular people. You were one of the people that everyone looked up to in the community. So when I was in the seventh grade, I would sing like go-go songs, and my friends would be like, "Oh, do that again," or "Arion, can you sing this?" or "Chrissy, can you sing that?" And it would just be like, "Do it, you can do it," kind of thing.
I love that. Even though they said you can do it, what gave you that confidence though? I want you to walk me into what made you feel like you could do it? Because I think many of us deal with imposter syndrome, right?
Yes, and
And you shy away from that.
yes, and I do experience imposter syndrome. But what really made me come to the conclusion that I could be an artist as well was when I heard Janae Aiko sing
Mm,
first time. And her tone is very angelic and melodic. And she was just something fresh and different that I've never experienced before. When you hear singers, or when you think of a singer, you think of someone who is strong, has a strong voice, a very broad voice, like, I don't know, Jennifer Hudson or Beyonce, or, just a strong singer, a dominant vocalist. But my voice is not like that. I have a very soft voice. So Janae was really the first person who I admired and who inspired me when I heard her sing.
that makes me think of when you're talking about Aaliyah.
Yes. Yes.
Aaliyah. I
Yes.
always wonder what her career would have become.
Yes. But see,
Mm,
Aaliyah was more so, I didn't really get to experience her a lot. I experienced her, of course, because I was born then, but she was in the 90s, so it was
different.
before my time, and it was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Janae, I had to be in the 10th grade when I experienced her voice, or maybe the ninth grade or something like that. So, 14, 13, 14, 15, you're a little bit older, and that's when you really start becoming into who you're going to be.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people out there that think they're talented and they want to do this whole record thing.
Yes.
Um, my first book, I always call that my first record deal. It was a bad deal. But we all have to learn. You listen to the hip hop artists and you're just like, listen, your first deal is a bad deal. Talk
Yes.
to me about the beginning for you. How you decided to drop music, who helped walk you through that process, and
Mhm.
where you're at now with it.
Yes. So I actually have to shout out my brother. My brother, we were in the 10th grade, and he was a rapper at the time. And he was a year older than me. And he was writing a song, and he said, I need somebody to sing on the hook. At this time, I didn't sing at all, but he just believed in me, and he said, you're going to do this. And we went to the studio. So that was my first taste of actually, writing, the process of recording and being in a studio setting. I was 14. And ever since that, I just really, it made me believe that it was possible. It was within my reach. My dreams were within my reach.
That's dope. So he helped you. Where are you at now with your music? How talk to the people about, how many songs you've dropped,
Mhm.
how you pick your production, who does your music. That
Yeah.
whole the business part of it, I think
Yeah.
gets left out of many genres.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. A lot of people forget whatever you do for a living, that is a business and you have to deal with it as such. So talk to me about the business portion. And you're only 24.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about how you're able to be on the right side of this right now.
Yes, yes. So I'm actually an entrepreneur at heart. So when it comes to the business portion of music and exploring it, I actually was more excited about doing that portion than I was about the creative side.
Hmm.
I have both sides in me, the creative and the business. And I love the fact that when you write a song that comes from your brain, it can be protected, you know, or if you make up a stage name, it can be protected. It can legally be yours. Anything that you create creatively in your brain and you bring it to fruition, it can be protected and it can be all yours. I love that. I absolutely love that, with copyrights and trademarks and contracts and, really building your team, the marketing aspect of being an artist. I love that.
That's dope. Your music. Since you talked about your music, I think I want to share a little bit with the people so they get a chance to hear you. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
twinkle in my heart. Twinkle, twinkle, who you are while gazing at the stars. If I had three wishes like a genie in a bottle, I would rub it till my hands go numb and make my haters grovel. That's I get it. Let me slow down for a second. I be having flashbacks sometimes on how I'm being vetted. Like I don't have a name or soul, or I'm not owed my credit. When I think about how far I come and the way that I'm headed, it's a blessing. Heavy on my heart, heavy from the start. Can't believe I came this far. And despite what you may think, depression made me who I am. But how could you understand when you don't know just who you are? Cause I'm built for all the pressure. And I don't know anything lesser. Cause I'm built for all the pressure. Cause pressure makes diamonds, baby.
Wow.
When you mad, I'm shining,
What?
baby. Pressure. I got a twinkle in my eye. Why you look so surprised when you see that I'm hip to your lies, all your broken promises that you can't?
I mean, that is nice.
Thank you, thank you.
It's actually really nice. I love it. Who do you credit that to? Like, there's one thing to have a voice, but you have a style. Where does that come from?
Well, I think it just comes from my culture. Not only am I Black, but I was born in a city with a very rich culture. You know, DC is the smallest district in America, but it just possesses so much innovation. Especially when you meet the people, you see the fashion, you hear the language, the music, you know, food. So I just come from a really rich culture within DC, being Black and a woman of my family. And, you know, I think everything has molded me and molded my sound and who I am.
Mm. Most people hear Washington, D.C., and all they think about is politics.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell me a little bit more about the culture. When I went to college, we would hear about the music, Chocolate City. Some people don't know what Chocolate City is. Why don't you let them know a little bit about Chocolate City?
Yeah, so Chocolate City is the city that I'm from, you know. Now, over time, it has definitely changed with gentrification and, you know, just trying to replace the culture or bring in something new that's not authentic to what it was founded on. But, you know, I love my city, and every chance that I get, I give back. And I'm a true advocate for the culture. You know, we have go-go music. Go-go music is a lot of live instrumentation with percussions and raw singing capabilities. There's no auto-tune. There's nothing that you hear now with the mainstream artists. Go-go music is pure, is raw, and is authentic. A lot like the people of DC. My DC, you know, where I'm from. I'm from Ward 7 Southeast. I was born and raised off of Alabama Avenue, Benning Road. That's where I'm from. And, you know, you do associate Washington, D.C. with politics and politicians, but that's only one picture that is being painted. The picture that I want to paint is the culture.
Hmm. Talk to me a little bit more about that. And what I mean is when people talk about gentrification, and I'm from San Jose, California, where a lot of gentrification has happened.
Yeah.
That culture is still embedded in you.
Yes.
What is that? Like when you tell me about your upbringing, like with your mom and your grandma and your brother, who now I know is also talented. What did it feel like in your neighborhood? What did it look like? And how did that kind of shape who you are?
Yes. So I come from a generations and generations of Washingtonians or people who were born and raised in Washington, D.C. So the pillar of my family were my great grandparents. And I know not everyone has had the luxury of building a relationship with their great grandparents, let alone their grandparents. But I had an example of a strong Black man in my household we lived in a single family, semi-detached home. It was 2 bedrooms, and it had about 7 to 8 people that lived in a 2 bedroom. Not the best circumstances, but I'm the kind of person who finds joy in everything, and my family is that way too. We make the best out of our circumstances, but it definitely was a low income, poverty, struggles, crime, but it also was laughter and joy and memories and music and love.
I don't think a lot of people understand that. They assume that because you grew up in poverty or because you weren't rich,
Yes.
they expect something else of you, especially from a Black woman or Black
Yes.
person.
Yes.
Black men, they think we're supposed to be criminals, and women, we're supposed to be pregnant with 5 baby daddies, and just, I
Yes.
mean, the
Yes.
things that people assume because you come from not a rich household is
Yes.
outrageous. But
Yes.
how
But
did you get yourself to a place where you understand that lack of monetary means doesn't make you any less of a human? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
talk.
I love that you brought that point up as well, because when people speak of richness, they speak of materialistic things or tangible things, but I actually was rich. I was very rich and fortunate to be surrounded with love and peace and joy and, family and, just things that money can't buy, intangible things. And that's a different type of richness. And I know that for some people, it would be hard to fathom that, we didn't have a lot of money and things of that nature, but money isn't everything. I mean, it's very important, but there are also other aspects to life that you need to succeed and be happy.
I always look at people that have a lot of money and wonder,
Mhm.
how much joy do you actually experience?
Right.
How much hard work do you actually get to do on a regular basis when you're not focused on your monetary value,
Right.
right? And it
Right.
sounds like your music is a lot of hard work.
Yes.
So, talk to me about your process when you are writing your songs, when you are putting together your story
Yeah.
that you're going to sing about. Like, talk to me about that. Where do you go? What do you do? What is your process like?
Yes. So it's actually very funny because I actually like to write a lot of my lyrics and songs when I'm in the bathroom. I feel, every woman bathroom is their holy ground. You do your makeup, you have your music. It's just peaceful. I like to write my music in the bathroom. And in my process, it comes to me in the middle of the night. And this is why I like to express the fact that it really is a gift from God, because I can't, some of the things that I write, my imagination doesn't go far enough to create it and, just think of it on my own. It's no way possible that I could come up with some of the things that I write on my own. And that's how you know that you have a gift, when you can't really explain it. It's just something within you. That's a gift.
Mm. What's next for you? So, you just dropped this song.
Yes.
What's next? How do we follow this journey? How do we support you? Talk to me about that.
Yes. So I have an EP that I am in the process of creating, but I also have a crowdfunding campaign that is for anyone who wants to contribute and collaborate into a young Black mind of a creative. And they want to be a part of the process in depth. In creating my EP, I have a campaign for them to contribute to be a part of my process in creating my EP. But I have music videos coming out. I have some traveling. I have some fashion. Just a lot of creative things that I'm ready to tap into, and it's coming to, a boil.
I cannot let you go without asking you about your entrepreneurial pursuits. Since you did mention it, what else do you have going on, Miss Lady?
Yes. So I have a clothing brand that I started in 2017. So that will be coming back to the forefront very soon. I don't want to put any, dates on it, but that I can just say very soon. I have a few other business ventures that I'm looking into as far as real estate and commercial property. And, I just want to expand my palette of businesses. I want to bring in traction from all angles and, you know, for generations and generations to come.
At 24, girl, you're doing a lot. Where did
Yes,
that come from?
yes.
So, who's the hustler in your family that kind of fueled this fire?
Well, my mother definitely. My mother is also my business partner and everything. She's my
Oh,
manager as
God.
well. Yeah, so she manages me and she's my business partner when it comes to other business ventures. And we've always worked together because she had a beauty salon and image consultant business, and I was her assistant. So now it's like I'm the artist and she's artist management. So we've always worked together. She's definitely taught me how to be an independent woman and a leader, just looking up to her and just, basically just emulating the things that I saw growing up.
Okay, so I would take it a step further. Where did she get that from?
She got that from my great grandfather that I mentioned in the beginning. My great grandfather was a businessman as well. He owned gas stations, he had a taxi company, he was in the military. He instilled in all of us, the importance of having your own and building your own for not just yourself, but for generations to come.
Mm, I love that. I love it. I love your story. I love
Thank,
your music. I'm
thank,
wishing you well.
thank you.
Once you are a member of the Leaders and Learners platform, you are always family. So
Yeah.
whenever you have something going on and you want us to share, definitely tap us in. Let the
Yeah.
people know how they can continue to support you on your social media platforms and
Yes.
your website.
Thank you. So, firstly, I just want to thank you for having me always, and likewise, if there's anything that you ever need, you can contact me or my manager and we'll always be there, You can follow me on all platforms, music and social medias at Chrissy Gubachi. All platforms, YouTube, Apple Music, Instagram, TikTok is Chrissy Gubachi.
Where did that name come from?
So my middle name is Christian, and Gubachi was something that I made up in high school, and it just stuck. My friends started calling me that, and it stuck.
I love it. It's fitting. It's fitting.
Thank you.
You are amazing. You're doing some great work. Your
Likewise,
music sounds lovely, and I can't wait to see what's next with you. Like
yes,
seriously, I want to be your mama friend. Okay, I need to call her. We need to hang out. I
yes.
really want to suck up some of her mojo because she has raised an amazing young woman. I mean, oh my God.
One thing before we go, though, I just wanted to express when you asked me what are three words that I wouldn't want to be associated with, just very quickly, I wanted to say I would never want to be associated with being unprofessional, ungodly, and distasteful. And that's it.
See, now I love your mama even more. Well, listen, since you went there, did you grow up in the church?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my whole life, but I didn't really start to experience it for myself until I was about 15 or 16. Your grandparents and your parents drag you to church and you kind of doze off and sleep as a child. But when I turned about 15 and 16, I really started to experience the Lord and build a relationship on my own.
Do you ever do any gospel
Yes,
music?
I
Okay.
do. And
What?
actually looking forward to collaborating with a gospel artist very soon.
Look
Yes.
at that.
Yes, you just got an exclusive. You pulled an exclusive out of me.
Look at that. Well, again, when it happens, we want to share. We want to be able to share.
Yes.
Okay, so keep
Yes.
us posted. Again, I
Yes.
want to thank you for being here. Thank you for
Yes.
spending time and sharing a little bit about your story and your music. We're
Yes. Thank you
fans.
for having me.
We will
Thank you.
always support. Keep in touch and
Yes.
please come back and visit us again.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
And this has
you.
been a pleasure.
Absolutely. So glad we got a chance to chat. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
So listen, you heard the music, first of all. I always love to let you hear the artist. She's not filtered. It wasn't a machine. It felt good. And I hope that you continue to support. I love bringing the artists, hearing where they get their talent from, how they're able to express themselves. Hopefully, that gives you a little insight to how you can tap into your own creativity. Remember, with Leaders and Learners, it's all about how we continue to learn and listening to how other people kind of do it, how they stir up their own mojo and their ability to express themselves. It's important. Not everyone knows how to do that. So, even the part about her writing in the bathroom, find a place where you are comfortable, your sanctuary, you're free, where your mind is just flowing, and do your best writing, do your best singing. Open up. You never know how creative you can be when you are in your safe space and allowing for yourself to, like she said, be touched by God and just let your talents flow. So, with all that being said, thank you for being here. We'll be back with another amazing leader or artist soon. Stay in touch. If you haven't already, subscribe to Leaders and Learners on Spotify and all other platforms. If you have any questions, always hit me up, Tanya McKenzie PR, on all social media platforms, and we will see you back here soon. All right, take it easy.